I did some videos a couple months back about how prominent streaming services have become and how I was kind of looking forward to a few of them. And today I want to compare the two that I've been trying to interact the most with recently. And that is Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Turnout. I'm your host, Aloy. Don't forget to check us out at usaaudiences.com, where you can sign up for special event and movie screening invites. Also follow us at the Turnout USAA on Twitter. So it's that time of year. Tons of new streaming services are coming out, and I have been so excited to try out these new services. Today, I really wanted to compare Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus because I think the two of them were the biggest in my atmosphere, and I think the two that I was most excited about. I have to say that I was a little bit more excited about Disney Plus. However, Apple TV Plus definitely had some other stuff kind of going on, and I was kind of interested in how they implemented that. So first, I kind of want to talk about some of the offerings that each of the services are giving, and then I'm going to give you my impressions of each one and how they might compare to each other, whether they're worth it, in my opinion, for anybody to get. Before I jump into that, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you always know when the Turnout releases a new video. So I'm going to talk about the 5 big offerings from each of the different services. And Apple TV Plus, their big thing was they have a brand new show called C, starring Jason Momoa. I checked out the first episode of that. I thought it was pretty darn cool, and who doesn't love Jason Momoa? Another show is called The Morning Show that has Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, and I am up to date on this show. This one definitely held my attention, and I wasn't excited about it, but I was like, well, I guess it's out, let me try it, and it ended up being really good, full of drama. It's definitely pulled me in. I'm very interested, and I've always kind of had a thing for Reese Witherspoon. I think she's a really good actress. Their third big offering is Ghostwriter, which is a show about a haunted bookstore that brings storybook characters to life in the real world. I checked out a couple episodes of this, and it's not bad. Definitely geared more towards the kids, and my kids seem to enjoy it, so that's good. Then there's The Elephant Queen, and I haven't actually had a chance to watch this one, but it's essentially March of the Penguins for elephants. That's what I got from it. I plan on watching it this weekend. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, Oprah's Book Club starring Oprah, and who doesn't love Oprah? Now, Disney Plus had a collection of different TV shows and movies as well. The big ones they were offering were High School Musical, the series, which I have not watched a single episode of. I was not a big fan of High School Musical, the movie, so I assume I won't like the series. But, of course, the one that everybody's talking about is The Mandalorian. I am up to date on this one, and the show is really well done, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and it's a weird comparison, but I almost think Jeff Goldblum and Oprah are on the same level. Who doesn't love Jeff Goldblum? I just love his mannerisms and the different ways that he kind of sees the world. It's great. Encore is a show about Kristen Bell. She brings all her old drama club members from high school, and they reenact plays they did when they were in high school. I love the idea of this show, but it was a little clunky in the first episode. I only watched the first one so far, so we'll see if it gets better after that. And then a movie that we ended up watching was the Lady and the Tramp live action movie, which I may do a review of. I think it's worthy of that, but I'll just do a mini review here and say it was pretty good. Now, it's interesting because the offerings of each of these, they seem kind of comparable. There's some really amazing TV shows, a couple of movies, interesting actors and actresses coming in and kind of acting as spokespeople almost for the channel. You know, exclusive content basically is them stamping their approval, like Oprah's like, I'm Team Apple, Jeff Goldblum, I am Team Disney. So that's kind of how it comes across, even if that's maybe not their true intent. And I think each of them definitely has a standout show. And for Apple TV Plus, it's definitely The Morning Show. It's handling a lot of discussion about the Me Too movement and its direction. It also has engaging characters. And I heard that it's a remake, actually, of another TV show called like Morning Wars or something like that. But really well done. And I think it's almost like a House of Cards, but for morning TV. I dig the show. It's really good. I'll stop talking too much about it. But I think that is definitely the big star of Apple TV Plus currently, although I did just see a commercial for some sort of new M. Night Shyamalan show that's going to be coming, so that sounds like it could be pretty cool too. And the big one for Disney Plus is The Mandalorian. It's Star Wars, it's bounty hunters, it has Baby Yoda in it. It makes me squeal every time I see that little baby and he's cooing, he's going, it's so cute. They definitely knew what they were doing when they made that kind of their flagship thing. The Mandalorian is really good. It does have a couple of issues with character development and whatnot, but overall, it's really, really good. That said, in terms of brand new offerings of original content, right now, they're about neck and neck in my book, but it's about all the rest of the stuff that surrounds this original content. What is their app like? How are they offering it to you? What are they pushing? How do you access it? Things like this. Well, let's talk about that. So a big thing with Apple TV Plus is anybody who just bought a brand new Apple product gets Apple TV Plus for a year for free. And I was very happy about that since I just recently upgraded my iPhone. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that. However, the thing about Apple TV Plus in terms of accessing it, you can't access it on any other devices besides an iPhone, a Mac, or an Apple TV that you might have. So it's not available on a PlayStation or Xbox. It's not available on Fire Stick or anything. They're keeping it very proprietary, which isn't new for Apple, and I have Apple devices, so it's not that difficult for me to access it. However, it makes it a little bit more difficult for me to do that. Of course, I can bring up things on my computer or phone, stream it to my TV. I have a smart TV, so it works out that way pretty easily. But it's just that extra step of having to do that in order to access things. It's a little bit of a bleh. But I think the most confusing thing is the interface of Apple TV, especially on a phone. Because what it's doing is trying to create a TV app that integrates all your other entertainment into just this one app. The idea is that you'll go to the Apple TV app and you'll be able to access your Hulu, your HBO, your CNN, everything in one TV app. However, not only is this confusing, especially as it does seem to shoot you the different apps constantly, you can't actually do anything within the TV app, it just brings up different apps, but also paying so much attention to all of the other third-party content really drowns out the original content offered from Apple. On the other side of that, Disney Plus has been a pleasure to finally have access to. It is $6.99 a month, but I went ahead and paid for a year and got a discount on that, so yay. But it actually has a pretty great app. It did have some issues on day one with logins and stuff, obviously, and I access it mostly on my Xbox One. The cool thing is that if I'm logged out for any reason, I can use my phone. All I have to do is access the app on my phone, and it immediately will open up the app on my Xbox One. So it's really, really great for quick access. But what Disney also did is they brought over 700 movies and original cartoons and TV shows and really overwhelmed the market, making this a super valuable asset to have in any home that loves Disney. I've already had a couple of weekends where I have recreated my Disney mornings where I would wake up and I'd watch a Mickey cartoon and I'd watch some DuckTales, and I'm kind of allowing my kids to now have access to these amazing childhood memories that I had. I also want to say that I think it was really cool that downloading programs and cartoons and stuff to your mobile devices is already an option out the gate. So they have kind of taken after Netflix in that way. Although it took like years before Netflix allowed that feature, Disney Plus is like, no, you guys can do that, it's cool. So it seems weird to complain about Apple TV Plus. I'm getting it for free now for a year, and hopefully within that year it's going to grow and change and become more accessible, have more things that will draw me into it. Hopefully they'll also work on the confusion that can be caused by an app that just kind of has everything thrown into it and have its own Apple TV Plus app. But I think at this point, I would definitely say that Disney Plus is the better app. It's the better entertainment thing. So if you had to choose between one or the other, so if they didn't give you Apple TV Plus for a year, yeah, I would definitely pick Disney. Not only is it allowing me to kind of go through and watch the Marvel movies, but again, all the old cartoons, all the Disney movies from the vault, all the original Disney Channel movies and TV shows, all of these things that, like, I remember from my childhood, my wife remembers it from her childhood, and all of these things that now I'm able to share with my children. I think that this is going to be a big win for Disney. I think that it's really, really cool what they're doing. And I feel like Apple TV Plus will eventually get there, but it's a little bit of a rocky start in terms of their offerings and, like I said, accessibility. But what do you guys think? I want to know your first impressions of Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus. Which one do you think is better? Notice I didn't really mention Netflix a lot in here. I feel like Netflix is still holding their own. They have a lot of their own original programming and everything, so I'm not really worried about them at the moment, because right now it's more about these new apps showing that they have value over what Netflix has. So I would say Netflix has a good year before it really needs to start worrying. But let's further discuss all of that down in the comments. Also, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. And I've been your host, Aloy. This has been The Turnout. Thanks for showing up.